Well, I can't read music, so but I learned. You read a songbook and says here's the G chord and here's where you put your fingers, and and you just do that often enough and you become somewhat fluid in it. And then when the internet came along, of course, then you can get online and learn scales and things like that. So I have some musicality, I think, but my musical skills are rudimentary, and it's basically just to support the writing, really. One of the themes I think that's always interested me is the theme of the idea of second chances. Years ago, I taught out at Matsqui Medium Security Prison, and it's like that. You can't fuck up any further than when society says, oh, you need to go in a cage, right? It's like, oh, that's a win. It's not, right? It's like, and so you've got two choices when you come out. Are you just going to go, well, fuck it, I'm bad, I'm a bad seed, I'm going bad, or you're going, I don't want to end up in a cage again. I want to try to, and not like I want to become a movie star. It's like I just want to have a life. Maybe train as a forklift driver. Well, in that song, it's like I made some choices that weren't the best. I've done some time. I can't remember exactly how it goes now, but I ain't going back again. And that was inspired by some of the guys that I met at Matsqui, who said, "Hey, I'm going to get out in a little while. Can I call you?" And I'm going, "Oh no." Get back, Mary, we gotta move. We love the rebel because most of us conform to what's expected of us, what the system is designed, right? So, and the other thing that's attractive about the criminal as a protagonist is that the stakes are so much higher. Like if you're a cop, it's like, yeah, well, you've got a gun, you've got a canine squad, you got a shotgun on the dash, you can phone in, for air support, and you got other cops that'll swarm. And if you're a crook, like a criminal, like you've got all that against you, right?
And you don't trust the people you're working with.
And and so, but usually in the classic crime drama, like the operating theme is justice, and so it's a cautionary tale. Crime does not pay. Well, it's almost always fatal not to follow through on an action. You end up with an abbreviated life. And there's that great line from the Tragically Hip that no one's interested in something you didn't do. Right? So if you're going to fail, fucking flame out spectacularly, or even just fail in a marginal level and go, well, I gave it a shot, Well, I love Vincent van Gogh, and I love his art because it just vibrates with intensity, and of joy and of suffering and of endurance and all of that. And as much as I love his paintings, and years ago, like 5 years ago, we were in Amsterdam, went to the Van Gogh Museum. I've been to MoMA, and I saw the Van Gogh there. The thing that really affected me as a creative person was as a writer. Van Gogh is a writer, in his letters to Dear Theo. I don't know if you've ever read the collection of his letters.
I haven't read them, but there was a play, I think, about it that I did see.
Okay, possibly. I'm not aware, but it's just like, here's an artist bearing his soul about what it is to be somewhat mad. Right? I think this was before the syphilis or whatever it was that ultimately, sent him off. I remember underlining lines, going, that's how I want to see the world. That's how I want to view art. That means fuck money, fuck fame. Just you got to do it because you want to do it. it's not really that daring, but a friend phoned me up. We know this guy up the valley on the mainland, and he had veal calves that he raised, but that were a pink veal, right? They could wander around the yard, but skunks were like burrowing holes, and the calves were and breaking their legs, which is a problem. So he had a skunk problem, and a friend phoned me up who knew this guy, and he said, yeah, we gotta Wade needs to kill some skunks. would you want to come out and help out? And I thought, well, you know what, I think probably this is something I will want edited, but nevertheless. And I said, well, and I was thinking, like, I've never killed anything before, and I understand the need, because how do you catch skunks, right, and take them away? So I thought, this is something I wouldn't normally do, but I'm in, right? So we went out, and it was like the skunk holocaust, and it was. I'm really not proud of it, And then later that night, Mary and I were going to the opera, right? And all night long, I don't know if it was the smell of guilt or just the stink of skunk, but it was like, I've killed today. This is,
Yeah.
So, and it was interesting.
Did you have a tutu, or what did you kill them with?
Well, shotguns.
Okay.
Yeah, it was this elaborate, plan that would flush the skunk out, and then there was this little chute that they would come out, and then my friend Scott and I would be there with the shotguns.
Oh, so it was like a den.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just got them coming out en masse. You just shooting them like fish in a barrel.
Yeah, like they'd come out pretty much one at a time, and
bang, and then.
Yeah.
So how many skunks did you kill?
About, I would say, I don't really want to say. I say maybe between 6 and 8.
Okay, was that the first time you'd killed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but what was interesting, and this sounds like maybe problematic, but like, well, I guess it's what like a hunter feels. You pull a trigger and something that was living is dead, right? And so it's not a good feeling. It was going to happen whether I participated or not, and just being like a sponge for experience in a way, like what's that like? And now I know what it's like. I don't want to do it again.
Was that the only time you hunted?
Yeah. But I know that I could, like, if I had to, like starving, I had to shoot a deer, I could do that. I wouldn't feel any compunction, if I would turn to crime, and worst case scenario, I'm in a prison.
We're videotaping right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm blowing my whole scheme here. Everyone's on to me now, right?
Yeah.
There'll be copycat crimes. But it was like, rob a bank, right? As we were talking about earlier. You get away with it, great. I've got money to live. If I get caught, I'm going to jail, and I've got a roof, and I've got medical, and I've got food, and at my age, no one's going to want me to be their bitch, right? so it could be worse, right? That's the way I look at it. So my bar is set very low. I don't want people to take this the wrong way, but the pandemic's really been a good thing for me, because I don't have to commute back and forth to the mainland, to Mordor, as Rudy calls it, right? And so I'm here. I'm teaching online, and I love the quiet. I love the people here, the community. There's a good spirit. There's a lot of really interesting people. There's a good arts foundation, to the island. I think people really appreciate it. And a lot of people with a wide range of experiences, right? That you don't necessarily run into when you're in the city. There's a lot of people, but you don't really talk to anybody. You don't really get to know people.
sitting in the bar with Steve again. Still living in the place above the money mart. I don't have a lot going on. It seems I'm not so smart, living above the money mark. I made some choices that weren't the best. I've done some time and I ain't going back again. There's a girl I like, she works at Burger Thrill. I go there sometimes to ask her